If you've been on the internet lately, you've probably seen posts like this, and this. Memes depicting Bhutan's limited international relations. Some light fact checking revealed that Bhutan indeed only recognizes 56 countries. But many still don't know why. They don't know why Bhutan is acting like a xenophobic old man or a rich blonde diva who thinks she's better than everyone else. Or both. Bhutan is a mysterious country. Considering that it is barely industrialized and the internet was only made legal in 1999, there's little information on it. To answer questions regarding Bhutan, its past as well as present needs to be examined. Bhutan is a constitutional monarchy nestled between China and India in the Himalayas. Its territory spans a bit over 38,000 kilometers square, enough landmass to house over 10 million K-pop idols with eating disorder. But instead, we have 780,000 Bhutanese with a whole lot of mountains and thunder. In fact, the Bhutanese call their country Drukyal, which means land of the thunder dragon. However, this wasn't always the case. It was only in the 17th century when Ngawang Namgyal unified the different quarreling fiefdoms to create now what we call Bhutan. Since unification, he served as Bhutan's political and spiritual leader. He defeated invasion from Tibet 3 times, introduced a new legal system, and even hosted Portuguese Jesuits to his court. Generally, he was regarded as a capable leader. When he died, his death was kept a secret so that local governors could pass orders in his name. The governors lied by saying that Ngawang Namgyal was on leave for 54 years. By the time the 18th century rolled around, Bhutan was expanding its domain, absorbing land and manpower from neighboring regions. And then they faced the British Empire that was on a mission to conquer the entire Indian subcontinent. Once the British reached Bhutan, they were confused to see typical East Asian faces in the Himalayas. But after finding out they sound like they'd ask you not to redeem your gift card, they decided they were Indian enough and prepared to take it. The Boer War only lasted 5 months, resulting in British defeat. But somehow the British ended up taking a good chunk of Bhutan's territory, which they paid rent for. Once the British were dealt with, a civil war broke out between the pro-British Trongsa governor and the pro-Tibet Paro governor. Years of bloodshed and internal strife concluded with the Trongsa taking the throne, while on the other hand, the Paro governor was forced to take the back seat. Like Rosa Parks. This marked the beginning of the Wangchuck dynasty that still holds power today. After the civil war, subsequent kings from the Wangchuck dynasty poured their efforts into modernizing Bhutan. This was mostly done by leaning on India for money, aid, and knowledge. India even led the Himalayan kingdom to join the United Nations in 1971 and becoming a founding member of SAARC. In these instances, India proved itself to be a steadfast guide. Despite progressive undertones of these stories, there are still controversial aspects of Bhutan. Slavery was only abolished in the country in 1958, and ethnic cleansing against the Lhotshampa people that began in the 1980s still persists to this day. Bhutan's ruling elite justified this by saying that the Lhotshampa people are a threat to Bhutanese culture and heritage. Jesus Christ, that's rough. Ironically for Bhutan, most of the world is willing to turn a blind eye to such shenanigans. This is because another thing they enjoy cleansing other than the gene pool is the environment. Bhutan is one of few countries that is carbon negative. In fact, their desire to keep the environment clean is one of the factors why its engagement with the outside world is so limited. Other reasons include preserving Bhutanese culture, and the prosperity is measured by well-being of their citizens, instead of wealth. Moral of the story is that if you want to be a racist and get away with it, make up some whimsical bullshit like gross national happiness, and be carbon negative.